Today, I wanted to bring you guys a special video a little out of the norm because all we're going to do is take a look around at our organization and our workshop. It's not really a workshop, it's our temporary work storage space. We've been working on this and I wanted to show you a few things. First thing that I'm really excited about is that when we were cleaning out our damaged work trailer, I came to a new realization about the tools and the things that I was storing, and it was horrible. It took us forever to move all of the tools, all of the screws and hardware, bits and pieces over from our damaged work trailer to this building. It was so tedious. I said, what am I doing? I had everything in difficult to move containers and in difficult to move storage solutions. And for example, I had a shelf on the wall full of little jars. Like these, little screw jars. And when I had to move every single jar, piece by piece, over, I said, why am I doing this? This is so tedious. And that was the case with every single thing. Everything was either heavy, built in, awkward, or tedious. And I said, I need to rethink organization and the way I store my stuff. I decided to go modular. Modular meaning right back here. That orange toolbox right back there is a Klein Tools MODbox. MODbox is a modular storage system. All the big brands have them these days. DeWalt has them. Milwaukee with their pack-out system. Rigid, Tough Built, Ryobi. Everybody has a MODbox style system, modular storage system. And what you do is you buy toolboxes that stack and interlock and accessories to go with them so that you can build your own tool storage. And typically they're made to be portable so that you can bring them to your job sites. And that's what really made me realize I need to go this direction because this is temporary. Probably. I don't know. Anything can happen, as we saw with our trailer. Tree fell on it. Suddenly I had to move everything and it was a big hassle. First of all, before I show that, but the room is coming together. You can see where we put our paint cabinets down here, full of paint and supplies. And both of them are pretty packed full of various paints, fluids, oils, and supplies. Those, I'm very happy with those there. Above them, I mounted my wood rack. Now I am trying to keep anything attached to the walls to a very minimum. I'm honestly kind of tired of cluttered walls and things hanging off the wall. But we already had these racks. I took them out of the workshop. They weren't damaged, so it made sense to reuse them in here. So that will be our long item storage. Good. Underneath, on top of our paint cabinets, you guys see I have all my DeWalt sockets and ratchets laid out. Ideally, these go in a garage. This is car tools. This is stuff that we don't use often unless we're working on a vehicle. But I had to put them somewhere, so I put them in here. You're probably shocked that I have such a collection. I have just about every DeWalt case there is of this size. So you can see the 3/8 socket, 1/2-inch socket. We have standard SAE ratchets. These are ratcheting ratchets, deep sockets, hex, various Allen sockets, regular wrenches, metric, standard. We have torque. We have impact sets, 3/8, really fun, deep sockets, extensions. Check out this extension set. That's handy. So these are our, sockets and wrenches, and I'm going to keep them here for now. These cabinets make a perfect worktop to put those on so that we can easily access what we need when we need to work on a vehicle. Okay, the corner, a little bit messy because I still have a ton of fluids on the floor. These are things that actually don't fit in my cabinets. These are paint cabinets. This is mostly gallon bottles and cleaners of various things, wood oils and whatnot. But in the corner, perfect spot to stick my drill press. I have a huge beast of a drill press, overkill, and maybe I'll tell you the story about this someday. But needed a place for it, and actually drill press just works well in a corner and it helps transition the walls. Over here, let's skip the MODbox and look at this bandsaw. You guys know I just extended this wall. The original wall stopped back here and we brought it all the way over to here. Now the bandsaw has a place, and this is actually really good because this has wheels under it and I can roll it out to wherever I need. If I need to cut a piece of wood right here, I could send it right down the hallway. And I have all the length I need. I can bring it out into the middle of the room and work. But for now, that's where I'm storing that. And you guys got a sneak peek over here. So let me tell you, I looked at every modular tool storage option I could find, every brand. And this is the one I settled on because A, I like Klein tools. I love the colors. And it had the best features I could find out of all of them. Milwaukee has a great selection, but I'm not a Milwaukee fan. I couldn't bring red in here. I'm not going to do that. So no hate on the pack out. It's just not my thing. So basically modular means I can just take these off. Let me latch this up so it doesn't flip open. And then you can take these apart, you see? But they do lock. This system is really cool because it has a one-handed release. You just lift up the handle and slide it forward. Now it's unlocked, or slide it back. You heard it lock. So I like the locking mechanism because I've used rigid. You see these rigid baskets right here? I've had these for a while, and I actually have a bunch of rigid toolboxes as well. And they're outside. I usually keep them in the bus. But they unlock on the sides. You have to reach around the sides and undo these clips on both sides to release them. And you can't do that when things are packed together. So I like MODbox. So actually I do have two modular tool storage systems right now. I have rigid outside, MODbox inside. The rigid is too limited. And like I said, I don't like having to unlock it on the sides. So unlock. MODbox is like the only brand I know of that comes with a rolling drawer unit on the bottom. They sell a toolbox or a rolling drawer unit. I got the drawers so that I could store things without having to keep taking things off the top. Like this toolbox can stay locked here. I have all my basic hand tools, the stuff I access often, up here, and down here, more stuff. And it does roll. Let's get it out from the wall. Do you see this? Wheels. And we can stack them up. I can add more toolboxes to the top, and I can move it around wherever I want. And I thought this was really clever. This is another feature I couldn't find on the other systems, was tall item storage on the back. I've never had a home for my conduit benders, and they sit perfectly on the handle, as well as a slot for my 4-foot level, my aluminum measuring stick, my breaker bar. Look at this. I love that. So that's my main toolbox. And that's my like daily go-to for all the basic necessities. And it will probably evolve over time as I figure out what I use more or less in the drawers. But right now I have like all my tape measures and a bunch of lag bolts. That's just because I needed to find places to put things. And also my gloves. So nice and organized. These drawers also have a locking bar on the front. You just slide that little bar up. I don't know if you can see it, but it locks. So that's that, and I love that system. But I had a lot of things to store, and that wasn't going to cut it. So check this out. We built 2 stacks of MODboxes over here. All drawer units, organizers on top. So I'm going to be a little bit silhouetted here, but I'm going to show you these systems. I built these using no wheels, so there's no rolling cart under these. These are just stacked on the floor. And I bought their 1 drawer, 2 drawer, 3 drawer units, stacked them and locked them together. And now we have like amazing modular storage where if I need to move this to a new workshop, I can just grab each MODbox compartment and move them. And I love that. So various things. I have a lot of hardware. Screws and hardware. There's all my pocket hole supplies, you know, tapes, flashing, stuff like that. We have a drawer for our hole saws. And you get the point. Sandpaper and router bits. These are my specialty crimpers and such. And up here, instead of jars, I've decided to start keeping my screws in a container like this. I also started one for miscellaneous communications and electrical pieces, crimps and such. Another cool feature of these MODboxes is they have these rails on the side where you can attach accessories, like these hooks, so you can hang stuff on the side. And they also have other accessories, which I may show you later. These aren't just for holding earmuffs, but you can put wires and hoses and, you know, whatever you want on there. On this side, I actually threw a big coil of strapping on here. So you can see, I love this, very organized. Now the whole point isn't to show you every drawer and every piece and every little thing I have. The point is, I'm just showing you how the system functions and why I'm liking it better. Look how clean this room feels compared to, if you can remember, how crowded and chaotic the old workshop felt. Because everything was spread out. Everything was on the walls, everything was hanging. I had pegboards, I had jars and shelves and things hanging everywhere, and it felt so cluttered. But I'm trying to find a way to keep everything in its space and more compact, out of sight, easy to move. Can you imagine how easy it would be to transfer this to a new area if we had to? Or if we just wanted to finish out this space, put a new floor down, how easy it is to move stuff out of the way. That's my goal, is keeping things movable. With that said, this thing is hard to move. That is our hutch that we found at a thrift store. And I thought it would be perfect to turn it into my epic tool cabinet, and it was. Even though this thing is a beast and very hard to move, I've decided to keep going with it. Because we already had it. We already set it up, we already put the money into it, and it works perfectly. So I'll accept that. You can see in here, we have the DeWalt collection hanging in there nicely. Everything has a space. It's easy to get when you need something. This isn't all of it. I have a couple more tools out and about. I have a heat gun that I have out in the car. But that's pretty much all of them, and you can see how well it's all organized. Grease gun, joist and stud drill up there, you know, the big heavy stuff out of the way. I can't hang those. But that's all that. And then the odds and ends on the sides. This is mostly routers and sanders, and we still have to replace the glass in that window. And over here is stuff I don't really use. Underneath has such a big and robust cabinet. Oh, underneath is so big and heavy duty that I'm keeping a lot of my nails in there to all my nailing guns. So they come in big boxes of nails, and it works down there because it's someplace to put them and it's strong enough to hold the weight. So nails, tool bags. I have the nail guns on the sides, the pneumatic nailers, stuff like that. And I guess that brings us around to the final corner where I have this old desk. We actually bought that desk and we ended up not using it like we thought we would. It was going to go in our house for something, but we just didn't use it. So I've been making use of it out here, and it actually makes a good spot to put my saws because I use these outside exclusively. So I just need a place to plop them when I'm not using them. I actually started with this big plug-in saw, and I upgraded to the battery saw because it's so lightweight. I mean, it's still heavy, but it's lighter than that one. And it's easier for me to carry in and out. So saws are going there. And I have various totes under here. These are just totes that I've carried around since we moved Michigan even. So I have stuff in there that I don't need often, but it just needs to be stored away somewhere. Eventually, I would love to whittle those down and get rid of them. They work great, they're heavy duty totes, but I'm trying to get away from systems where if I need something down here, I have to pull out everything to get to it. Because when I pull out everything, I have a bad habit of not getting everything put back, and that's where my messes start, is I need something at the bottom, and you pull everything out, and then it just lays there. So I'm trying to get away from stacked things, and that's why I went so heavy on the drawer units, because drawers, you can access everything without unstacking anything. And I know you can buy some nice big metal rolling toolboxes, but they're too heavy, they're too hard to move. I like that these come apart. And honestly, again, I like the plastic over the metal because these aren't going to rust on me. I've had a problem with things rusting. It's been very hard here. We're in a humid climate, we have temperature swings, and we have damp mornings, and if you're in an unclimate controlled situation, you're going to get rust. And so the plastic cabinets are just lighter, they don't rust, easy to keep clean. I like it. So I just wanted to take you guys on a little tour of what this room looks like right now. It's pretty nice right now, but it's bound to get messier because we do have a few more things to bring in, and I don't know where I'm going to put them. It's been a piece by piece situation where we just have to keep bringing things in little by little and saying, where can we stick this? And I'm trying to do it carefully so that we can maintain order. We've gotten rid of a ton of stuff, just bags and bags of garbage, because when you really go through things, you find out you're holding on to a lot of stuff that you don't need. We sorted out our bits, you accumulate a lot of drill bits, screwdriver bits, you accumulate a lot of hardware that's not necessary. I'm trying to whittle that down, and just odds and ends that I know I won't need. We also have a storage room that we built behind that wall, and we've been using that for a lot of the bulky storage and non-tool storage. So that's just stuff that I'll show you guys later, hopefully when we get light in there and we can show you what's going on. The one thing that's missing in here is a work space. If I did want to work in here, there's no counter or workspace top. And I do have plans for that. I'm going to show you guys that in an upcoming video, so I hope you can look forward to that. But I think that's all we have for now. So thanks for watching and coming along as I show you our new tool organization, and not just tool, but thing organization, because we have so much stuff. I'm feeling better. I feel so much more organized that I feel like I can get things done now. So this is going to be a positive leap forward. Sometimes you got to invest a little to make your life easier, and that's what we're doing. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.